presentation is brought to you by Worldwide Sim Racing.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing somewhere.
And it was a little bit of a longer start as Diego gets away well. And Niklas gets a pretty decent start as well. Flip-flop Fish gonna slot there, and Niklas breaking well into the first turn and actually jumps Flip-flop Fish. He might have extended the track a little bit, but he gets ahead of Flip-flop Fish, who goes down the third position. Niklas with a great start. However, it looks like Flip-flop Fish will have a challenge on the inside in the turn 3. But Niklas gives him a lot of room, and I think that was a little bit too nice played by Niklas, and still side by side. And look at this is absolutely amazing. Niklas, great racecraft, and look at that. Yes, he does. He can go 3 wide in the turn 4. This is outrageous. Look at this racing. The Renault going down the middle. The McLaren on the inside. He gets a little compromised. The Red Bull then on the outside. Now side by side of Nathan DeVillers. The Renault making the better getaway there in the side by side. Still side by side as the Red Bull and the Renault. Now Jonathan Cox and the Haas is going to get involved. And this is the same 4 big action that we saw in Spain. Now Darkva's in the mix of it, and Nathan DeVillers still side by side with Dark. Out of the race, he was going slowly. Let's see, there's a safety car deployed on track. Where was this accident? Flip-flop stopping just in front of the pit lane. An amazing good move for Flip-flop Fish. He'll get a pit stop. And so did Nathan DeVillers, and now Flip-flop has had contact with Nathan DeVillers in the McLaren. Now is there damage? There's end plate damage on the Mercedes. Nathan DeVillers is going on the outside in the turn 1, and now contact. Niklas is now trying to keep his position. This might be a little bit more ego than anything. Nathan DeVillers, though, side by side up the hill in the turn 3, and now squeezing Nathan DeVillers as Niklas. The hand goes up from the McLaren driver, and Niklas is still making contact.
So long sailing, bye-bye sailing.
There's a new sun rising. I can see a new horizon that will keep me realizing you're the biggest part of me. Need your love here beside me. Need you close enough to guide me. I've been hoping you would find me. You're the biggest part of me. Well, make a wish, baby.
Grand Prix as Flip-flop Fish gets away well, and he gets ahead of Mitch 791. Mitch 791 might try to challenge in the turn 1. It'll be very tricky coming into the first few turns. Usually bound to have accidents as the Ferrari goes very wide. As Mitch, there's a huge collision. I didn't see who it was. Gurman is in 4th position right now. There's a bunch of yellow flags at the back.
Sweet crack, 3 second time penalty, sorry, corner cutting already.
And now the Haas got compromised, and Potato in the Williams is trying around the outside, around the Curva Grande, and as they said on the commentary, it's a Grande move by Fried Potato, and he gets in the 5th position. And there's a crash. Niklas has had a crash, and he's crashed out of the exit of Ascari. Is there going to be a safety car? It's a virtual safety car. Mitch is just outside the pit lane. Will he make the pit stop now? No, he does not make the pit stop.
I think he's going to surface.
Oh, I want to look at Enrique right now. He's going side by side to Flip Flop Fish as he's challenging for second position on the safety car restart. Now Flip Flop Fish getting ahead of him, but now coming down this DRS straight. Enrique will have DRS and surely will be a move as he's coming on now side by side of him down the start finish straight. It's a drag race. It's the Honda engine versus the Mercedes engine. What power will get across? Who will brake latest? Enrique brakes latest on the inside. In the second, gets ahead of Flip Flop Fish. Flip Flop Fish will look around the outside, but no. And now the Ferrari of German must be loving this battling in front of him. It will allow him to get closer on the grid as Yusumi Flying does now start to serve his penalty. As let's see, but here comes German. He's going to try to make an overtake on Enrique before the parabolica, and I think he's going to get it. He's going to go side by side of the Red Bull. Who gets better traction? I want to mention Enrique does have damage on his end plate on his front wing. But now it looks like Enrique will try to go side. No, Enrique into the pits. That's under safety car conditions. I think he's trying to push this now. Flip Flop Fish will take back into the now. Fried Potato is coming out of the pits. Fried Potato is taking the lead of the race under the safety car after pitting, and that is astounding.
Astounding. No, I don't think anybody saw that coming, and that's just because of SR2 Monty after having a blunder at the Ascaris again.
Over, and he is really bunching up the pack, and here we go as there's a big swapping of positions under the safety car. Mitch has a much better line. He's now going to challenge Potato on the outside into turn one as Fried Potato will give him as much room as possible, but no, he's not able to get ahead of him. And I want to ride on board now. Look at this. Flip Flop Fish.
Dexter's cut the entire corner.
Mitch 791 Flip Flop Fish. Look at this, and now look at Sweet Crown 19. He's having a challenge here, and this is getting really dicey. Look at this. It's a box up for Sweet Crown 19. Flip Flop Fish gets. Look at this. Flip Flop Fish is in the second. Mitch is in the third.
Well, around about a half a second.
Here comes Sweet Crown 19 in the Ferrari. Is he going to try to make a move? Is he too far back? Oh, and he looks around the outside. He's still oh, yes, he has. That's an outrageous move by Sweet Crown 19, who puts himself in the second. He still, though, has to contend with 6 seconds worth of penalties. The Pastor and Nathan DeVillers are going side by side for battling a 5th position at the moment. Sweet Crown 19, though, is now chasing down Flip Flop Fish, and he will take the lead provisionally at the moment of the Italian Grand Prix.
What lap was that?
It was near it was in the lap 20. I believe it was 24 or 25. And Flip Flop Fish does win the Grand Prix. Mitch jumps him. Sweet Crown 19 currently third. Where Nathan DeVilliers will finish right now, we'll have to wait and see. No, he'll finish behind him. Sweet Crown 19 remains on the podium.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
And here we go. Diego gets away well. Wheel spin from the Haas. Jonathan Cox. Sweet Crown 19 jumps Diego at the start, however, and gets himself in the first position. A great start by the Ferrari. Jonathan Cox, though, in third position, keeps his line, even though a lot of wheel spin at the start. Nathan DeVillers drops position. German going from 10th now, jumping the position as well. Sweet Crown 19, though, leads away Diego in from turn 1, and now Enrique is trying to challenge the Haas of Jonathan Cox, but now he gets wheel spin. Nicholas will try to catch up to his teammate, making mistakes behind the Haas driver. Now Enrique, I think, has had a spin. Yes, he has, and he spun, and now he reverses on track, has to get out of the racing line, and now has had another spin. The tires must be absolutely destroyed after spinning twice ahead of Fried Potato. They're going side by side right now. Potato side by side of Gurman for a bit there. Now will he try to make another lunge on the inside? He'll look, but no. Probably best as Gurman gets into 7th. Look at this, Diego in the 130R. This is outrageous. On side by side of Sweet Crown 19 going into the final chicane at the end of the lap. Sweet Crown 19 would like to get ahead of his teammate now. His teammate should let him by, and no. Ooh, now just about lets him by. And yes, now Sweet Crown 19, as this is great tactics by the Ferrari drivers, and Dartfa now should get passed by Sweet Crown 19. A good overtake just at the end of Sector 2, and there is the overtake for the lead of the race. But now Gurman gets a bad run through there. He's going to try to battle with Diego, but it is up to no avail as Dartfa gets passed, but Diego gets passed too. So the plan to try to block Diego from getting into the lead has not worked so well as Gurman in the slipstream coming up to 130R. This is going to be a mega move by Diego going on the outside in the 130R. Look at this, still side by side, but Diego gets the lead of the race before the start-finish line. A mega move around 130R, around Sweet. Comes Nathan DeVillers on Nicholas, who'll try to go around the outside in the turn 1, and that's an outrageous display, and now Nicholas has spun! The Red Bull spins out of the race into 9th. Now here comes Flip Flop Fish making a move on Fenrique on the inside, a battle till the end. They're still side by side on the start line, but Fish on the line, who will make it, and it's Flip Flop Fish who gets ahead of Fenrique. How faster does Flip Flop Fish go right now? He's in Sector 2. He's got all the front wing as he can, all the downforce. Let's see what that Sector 2 time is going to be, and it's not fastest in the 2nd sector, but it is 4/10 down on his time. This is going to be majorly close for pole position. Flip Flop Fish on the charge right now in the Mercedes, looking to get on pole position, looking to get ahead of Diego. It was not a good time in Japan, coming up towards the bus stop chicane. Will it be a good time in Belgium? Coming through the bus stop chicane, and right on the money. Nicholas is second fastest at the moment, a 1:43.0. He's ahead of Flip Flop Fish, but for how much longer? And it is Flip Flop Fish who goes on pole by hundredths of a second. And Diego must be kicking himself right now for retiring, because he's in second fastest on the... Sector 3 is it's 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and in Belgium it is go! It's go! And Flip Flop Fish gets a good start and slots ahead of Diego. Diego got a terrible start off the line. Nicholas in the turn 1 and gets ahead of Diego. Nicholas into second position. Following now Flip Flop Fish. Diego will be in the slipstream though, possibly to make a move. And now a turn up, an overtake on Nathan DeVillers by Fenrique up Radion. And that's an outrageous move, but then Fenrique goes wide. And now coming up the Camel straight in the slipstream, here comes Nicholas in the Red Bull, chasing down the Mercedes. Diego will try to go on the inside, or the outside, and then a switchback. Nicholas challenging for the position, then goes too wide, and Diego will retake third position. And it's Nicholas back in third. Fenrique behind him is on at the moment. That was a mistake. That's not supposed to be on. Fenrique. Oh, there's a spin! I think Nicholas, and there's a crash! And Nicholas is out of the race! Nicholas tagged.
Big surprise.
Big crash, and at the safety car deployed at the end of, it's at the end of Radion coming up towards Eau Rouge, and Nicholas is out. He tagged Fenrique. I believe on the side of the track somewhere, and I don't know who that was. It looked like there was sorry, that was the safety car now coming into turn 1. It's the same color as the Haas, which is confusing. As here comes the pastor now, a little bit behind his flip-flop Fish. And I want to mention Baker right now. On the outside, there's a crash from the back. Chuck and Nathan DeVillers have had an incident, and Fenrique and Dartva Getaway Queen. There's a virtual safety car now, and looking Dartva side by side of Baker around the outside, and it's a great move around the outside into Lacombe. But here he comes around the final turn, and he will win the Belgium Grand Prix ahead of Flip Flop Fish. Diego will finish in first, Flip Flop Fish in second, Mitch on the podium. Fenrique is in fourth at the moment, and Dartva will jump Fenrique.
Sad to lose the things you love for what you never had.
Go! And a drive-through penalty for UC Flying, jumping the start, and he's going to go all the way to the bottom of the track. But it's 3 wide into turn 1. It's Niklas who takes the lead, and it's Diego who gets a terrible start off the line. A big wheel spin moment. He's dropping down positions rapidly, but it's Niklas who leads the Grand Prix in the Red Bull, followed by Flip Flop Fish in second position. Jonathan Cox in third in the Haas. The Pastor in the Renault in fourth. Hill chicane of sector 2, trying to possibly make a move on the hairpin. Will look around the outside. Logan will try to push him as wide as possible, but now a switchback by the Racing Point driver, but a bad exit out of the hairpin, and Logan, ooh, and that's wheel spin, and now Sector will be looking even closer to Chuck as Chuck.
Before you start to break, don't it make you feel like your hands are off the wheel, like your hands are off the wheel? Don't it tear you down? Don't it turn your world around? Don't it love to let you down?
Off the line. And here comes Niklas, already getting ahead of Logan LPC. Still battling as Logan LPC, but he finally gives way to Niklas, who puts himself in the second and will try to chase down him. Now Diego gets ahead of You See Me Flying, and on the inside is the Pastor, who will look still on the inside. Is now going to be side by side of You See Me Flying into the chicane. You See Me Flying again gets ahead of, and there is no rain out on track. The cars will be coming in the pit. And it is medium tires for.
Don't it make you sad to lose the ones you love?
Will win the Canadian Grand Prix. A flawless drive from the Red Bull. Flip Flop Fish will finish in second. Diego will finish in third after a bad race for him, but a consolation prize. Sector, on his first race in WSR Tier 1, will finish in fourth. The Formula 4 driver of Nathan DeVillers should finish in fifth position.
What do you see when there are no
McLaren, and one of the Ferraris is out, and it is our very new driver in WSR, Artem Markelov from Formula 2, is in the race today.
How do you know when you hear the call? What do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball. 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 It's not what you do,
Go, and it's Diego Diego, who gets a good start. Niklas slots behind him, it looks like, and here we go in the turn one. No, Niklas will go on the inside in the turn one and take the lead of the race. No one ahead of him. Diego has had a terrible start, and it looks like he's dropped all the way down to 7th. A terrible start for the Williams, but it's no one who goes into second. Niklas takes the lead immediately. Timmy Flynn was the issue there, and he is out of the race at the moment, down in 18th, but a good restart by Markelov, putting himself into 7th. And Nolan Lambert, though, on the inside right now of Markelov, and will try to take him. And, they almost went 3 wide into the chicane, but Markelov stays alive. No one gets ahead of him, though. We make a move. Where will he go? Will we go on the inside? It's going to be a dive on the inside.
How do you answer the challenge?
Markelov gets better traction out of the turn and will get ahead of the McLaren again. There's another crash. It's chucked to a spun, and he's safety car restarting. Artem hits the wall out of the exit, and Niklas is immediately going to be on the attack. Green flag conditions. Drag race to the first turn, and on the inside of Artem and gets ahead of him. So Niklas puts himself in the third. Now here comes Diego. The chicane to Niklas, opening up DRS. No one side by side of Niklas coming up to the turn. And let's see, side by side, bumping the wheel. No one gets back on track. They melee contact. Niklas on the inside, looked like no one trying to make a switchback. Now we'll go on the inside, bumping Niklas and pushes Niklas off track. And that was a little personal there. And then Niklas gets spun by Diego and is on the start-finish line, reversing on track. It's ghosting now, and Niklas has had a terrible event there. Coming down the start-finish line, it's going to be a drag race. Zach, it's going to let him by, actually, and get DRS of his own, I think. Coming up to the DRS zone, who gets a sitting duck. He will move, try to have him that. What a great defense by Niklas. But then a switchback, Nagel and Niklas, but I think Niklas will stay ahead of him. Here he comes, and SRT Zach finishes. No, SRT Zach crashes at the end. He didn't crash at the right time, and he's out of the race just before the start-finish line.